For longtime fans of the Neil Gaiman comic, Netflix's Sandman series is a dream come true, and here to tell me about it ahead of next month's premiere are the stars of the show, Vivienne Acheampong, Boyd Holbrook, Jenna Coleman, Vanesu Samunyai, and Patton Oswalt here on this cramped balcony. Thank you for joining me.
Woo! Thanks for having us up here.
Yeah, this is great. So, Sandman is this, storied and just legendary comic that's taken a very long time to kind of come onto the screen, populated with all sorts of fantastical characters. Tell me a little bit about sort of getting into character. Vivienne, Boyd, you're sort of polar opposites. Can you talk a little bit about Librarian versus Corinthian?
I mean, we're finally here. It's taken about 30 years to get here, but we've finally done it. I believe the Corinthian, who is basically the design of your worst nightmare. He was meant to be ended in the dreaming world, and he's broken out into the waking world, and he's run amok and inspiring people what he was designed to do, which is to create madness, and he has become the patron saint of serial killers. So it's,
yikes.
Needless to say, it was a blast to play that.
That sounds fun.
Yes, well, Lucienne, the head librarian, Dream's companion, I'd say that, she's loyal to a fault almost, extremely hardworking. She presides over the dreaming whilst Dream has been captured. And their relationship is really special because I think that she's a bit of his moral compass. He's this kind of brooding character that is a little bit of difficult, well, he actually is hard work. But there's a special bond that they have. And yeah, it was great. I absolutely loved the role. Wonderful.
Now, Jenna, what was it like playing Rose in a contemporary setting?
Oh, Johanna Constantine.
Sorry. I'm forgetting my lines. I'm terrible. Sorry.
Incredibly fun. It's like one of those that bounced off the page. Her kind of cynicism and wit, and using humor as a deflection, and kind of just someone who's not very easily impressed by anything. So the kind of the meeting of minds between Dream and Constantine was a really fun, the kind of intrigue between them both. This kind of battle of the ego, yet this mutual admiration of each other. It was a really fun, a really good playing field.
Tell me about what it was like working with Dream and, taking on this character.
Yeah, it was just, I think it was nice. I had such a big world, such an established, project, such an established creative thing to jump into. So it was really nice, to have, there was a bit of source material that I had to go off of. Some parts, I had to make up, I had to fill in a lot of the blanks myself. I had to kind of just sculpt and mold my own character. And it was great to, work with Tom to expand our relationship in the show more than in the comics. I really liked how we were able to explore that.
Nice. Now, Patton, you're a big Neil Gaiman fan. You're a fan of the comics. Did you just find out this was happening and just kind of bang on your desk and like, get me in there?
I actually got an email from Neil saying, you want to play Matthew the Raven? And absolutely yes. So it was, it's hard to call this a dream come true because I would have never dreamed that I would have gotten to do this role. This was beyond my imagining in a way. So I really lucked out, and just getting to watch the footage of these actors nailing these roles as I was doing the voiceover, and some of these scenes was very, very exciting to watch it coming together as well as it has come together. Just so happy.
Now, I imagine, playing a raven is a little bit like you're voicing a bird. You're not really there. You're not dressed up in a ping pong ball suit on set or anything.
I didn't Jar Jar Binks this thing. I was in a studio and I read my lines. But there were, moments when I went back when they would redo certain lines or, because of the way that the scene would go. There's a great scene between me and Vivienne and I could say it, Mark Hamill as Merv Pumpkinhead, where we're kind of going back and forth, and I came in and redid the lines because the way that she performed it was so much more different than the way that I did it. It worked better for me to react off of her performance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you? We haven't seen anything from you in the trailers. Can you give us a little tease of what?
I mean, I play Matthew the Raven. Dream of the Analyst always has a Raven. I am a recently become Raven. Up until recently, I was a human being who apparently died. There are some cryptic clues as to what my life was like before this, but I am I think I'm the closest to the viewer running to catch up with this world. The only other, I think, person that compares to me is Rose. Rose is also like, wait, what? I'm like, wait. So you get to see them kind of, you're connecting there with the viewer, learning about the world as you're running along into it.
Nice. Now we've got an IGN fan question from Marissa. Was there any advice that you received from Neil Gaiman himself about how to portray your characters?
Don't screw it up.
I'm sorry, there's an enormous bug in your hair. Oh my.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Whoa! Wow!
That was
What?
Oh, good lord. Okay.
That's what you were pointing at.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's weirdly
Been
portentous.
attacked by a large,
That is
medium-sized
a
beetle.
bug, I
This
believe.
interview just got very exciting.
You're very brave. You handled that extremely well.
Yeah.
It was like being in the dreaming, guys.
Yeah.
Again, the CGI work in San Diego is incredible, and they can do stuff like that. So that was amazing.
Okay. So yeah, where were we?
Any advice from Neil?
Yeah.
Well, I think Neil was just all over this. So involved. It's his vision. You know, him and Alan, two minds coming together and working together, and everything Neil passed, didn't he? Like literally every small thing. So I think that fans will be really excited about that because this is very much his vision.
Wow, he gave me such cryptic advice. I still don't get this. He said, when you're in San Diego, keep the bugs off Jenna. I don't know what that means, but I used that in my performance. It was very weird. Yeah.
I love that. It seems like, you know, there are various different interpretations of sort of the Sandman mythology, like different artists have tackled it. It seems like you've sort of been given a little bit of freedom to just really explore your characters and just...
Oh god, yeah, definitely.
Would you say that's sort of the case?
Yeah,
Yes.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I guess, is there any sort of feedback you would give to just fans who were like too hung up on things being how they were in the comics or in their head, or...
It's an adaptation.
Yeah.
I think we've been pretty. We honored the comic quite well, and for example, a lot of our characters for my own character, only had like one comic to go off of. So, I believe we got a lot more creative and expanded upon that.
I mean, it's...
I can say this as someone who's reread the series 3 or 4 times and was there when the first issue came out. There are certain things that they absolutely nail from the... They recreate it as is. And there, as you said, there are other things that they absolutely improve and make so much better. Even Neil, in looking back on his work 30 years down the road, was like, oh, it's actually cooler if we do it this way, and adds even more richness to the characters.
Yeah, I mean, it's mired in dreams. It seems like
Yes.
it requires a little imagination, so...
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like we kept the essence of the comics, and some, parts of it were just straight out of the comics. Like the panels were like exactly the same, but in order to adapt it to a different medium, it needed that healthy breathing space of just to change things around and to see what happens.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this balcony. I'm sorry about the bugs. That is genuinely one of the weirdest things that's ever happened on the
in
show.
San Diego.
That
a
was
huge bug.
Very
It was
offensive.
a genuinely huge bug.
Anyway,
It was a stunt.
if the Sandman sounds like a dream come true, set an
that
alarm
was
for
it.
August 5th when it hits Netflix. In the meantime,
And you
don't
can
nod
zoom
off
in
because
on
IGN Live
our,
at San Diego Comic-Con.
there he is.
This is the guy.
It's back. The
Zoom
bug.
in.
It's like
We got lots more
so
Comic-Con
sorry.
continuing
Oh,
after
wow.
this.
Hang on,
Maybe
folks,
it's-
I can tell you right now, the bug was Andy Serkis.
How do you feel about
Amazing he is. That is Andy Serkis. He's incredible. Folks, keep it going
CGI.
for him. Look at the sun.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
What the hell?